I think every week we say this, we don't talk about, so-and-so enough, this particular
Mm.
team or whatever. So obviously we cover a lot of schools in Central Texas, about 70 that play football. And so we don't always get a chance to cover everyone. You tune in often enough, we'll probably talk about your team. But this is your chance to maybe shout out someone that's flying a little bit under the radar, whether it's a team or a player. DJ, starting with you.
I want to say Groesbeck
Okay.
because I feel like we haven't talked about them at all. They're 2-0 in district right now. I think they um might be 4-2 overall. But I think it's funny because when I was talking to Coach Bomar, doing our high school previews, he was like, "Yeah, we're just not gonna be that good. We got a lot of young guys. They're 5-1, so they only lost one game.
Mm.
Um, yeah, but he was just kind of playing it down and maybe coming into the season it didn't look as clear. But I mean they've got some good players. They've got Chris Cox, who's a pretty good wide receiver, and um, I think I'm pretty sure they're second place right now in that district. Um, still got some games to play but I don't know. I think the goats are looking pretty good right now, and
I
Yeah,
like
that's
that
really
take.
noticing. Yeah.
I took a look at Groesbeck when I was thinking about this question too, and I think you're right. I think in a little bit they benefit from not playing a real powerful schedule. Um, but you're right. The other thing, DJ, you've been on that Oglesby bandwagon, right? You got some props for being on that Oglesby bandwagon. So
That's more just because I don't know what the other team is doing. And I'm like, okay, Oglesby's been
well,
around.
you picked them to beat May though, right? And they
Yeah,
beat
she
May.
did. She
That
got
was a
that
big
one.
win. Hmm.
Oglesby was going to be my answer, so it sounds like Chad's stealing it. But
I'll let you have Oglesby. My actual answer was going to be we still haven't talked about the Chilton Pirates enough.
I agree. I agree. It's
Number
kind of
four
crazy.
ranked team, and yeah,
I mean, they're
big win last week for them too
yeah, big win over Bremond. It came
in a
down to
close game. Yeah.
yeah, it came down to the end in a rivalry game. So yeah, Chilton I think has good coaches. I think they have good talent. Um, yeah, I think the Pirates can play a while
Hmm.
this season. Maybe make a run at Jerry World for sure. And Oglesby, to that point, I mean they're second in the state in two excuse me 1A Division 2, uh,
Yep.
the smaller of the 6-man classes. I remember talking to Jeb Dixon, former super-centex coach of the year for us. Um, Done a great job there at Oglesby. I remember talking to him before the season and asked him about the ranking, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, but he was like, I really feel like the Mays and the all these." He started listing off about 5 or 6 other 6-man powers that they probably should be ranked behind, but man, his team is playing well. And Kyler Fawcett is the guy I'll shout out for Oglesby that's just putting up crazy numbers. Certainly will be in the running for super-centex 6-man coach of the year. So we've talked a lot about Abbott, but I think Oglesby is another one that and Oglesby's a program that really hasn't had that kind of statewide success. So this is big for that town and the Tigers, and
Hmm.
should be fun to see, if they can, make a run in the playoffs. So
Yep.
yeah, and back to Groesbeck for just a second. We have several coaches in our area who are in their second stint at their respective school, like
Hmm.
um,
Robert Little.
Robert Little is one of them. Also, gosh, I'm drawing a blank now. Lonnie Flippin at Walnut Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Danny Baker at Coolidge. So a couple 6-man schools there. Um, Baker coached there a long time ago and then came back just like Lonnie Flippin did at Walnut Springs. But Jerry Bomar at Groesbeck won a state championship for the Goats back in the 90s. And so this is a guy that knows how to win. So to DJ's point, I think they're building something good there, and he'll probably hand it off at some point. He can't coach forever, but he's still got some good years in him, I think, Jerry Bomar.
Hey, tell Bruce Bochy that.
And it all comes full circle.